Okay, so the lesson plan that I have chosen to kind of go over here with you is one that is analyzing a text from the perspective of a reality TV producer. The real task at hand here is to take the book The Hunger Games and to basically pull images and messages, different parts in the book, and relate these to a message in particular that the teacher is going to pass out and prove how that message is conveyed by those pictures. And this is really cool here because the students, as you can see, are working in groups. They're given the opportunity to interact, and that should keep the students engaged longer in the lesson. And it kind of ties into a story of The Hunger Games, which is also a very popular movie, one that the students can easily pick out the plot and follow along, and not one that might be a little bit more daunting like To Kill a Mockingbird that might challenge the students to dig just a little bit deeper. So here she is beginning to go ahead and pass off a piece of paper that is going to show conveying messages. Now I'll let her do a little speaking.
To see these paint buckets up on the wall. Yeah. The lesson started with us looking, first of all, at the Common Core buckets when we talk about what we want to learn in class each day. I'm going to pull out this.
So I really thought the Common Core buckets were neat. They basically, every day before class, the teacher will pull out the sticks out of the Common Core buckets that pertain to things she wants the students to gain from the lesson, like learning logic, how to determine things and concepts, and it just kind of keeps the students knowing what they're learning, why they're learning it, and how what they're learning will help them in the future with testing. So here's the example. It's showing The Hunger Games, a reality show teaser. Then you're going to show the rationale of the messages. Here she's passing out the messages to the classroom. Survival, hunger, playing the game, acts of resistance, excuse me, and so forth. And so the students will pick from these and then take things out of the book and relate them to it, proving that they understand the message that it's conveying.
To be dialogue or it's going to be lines from the actual book. I want to know how these words and that image that you've chosen helps convey the message that your table is challenged to convey. Can you talk to me a little bit about the message that you're trying to convey?
Hunger is bad.
Hunger is bad? Yeah.
It's kind of a generic statement. Yeah.
Okay, so who's this message to? Who's your audience?
The capital.
Oh,
Capital.
Capital ignores like district.
yes. So it's the hungry districts, the not hungry districts.
Yes.
Okay. And what is it that the hungry districts want to tell the not hungry districts?
That they're starving. They don't have food.
So you mentioned bread and hope. How does that figure into hunger?
Well, so bread is giving them food and allowing them to live, and that, which is hope for them, basically.
Kind of interesting. It's pretty deep, actually. That is way different than where you started when you said hunger is bad.
Here I really like the way that she's interacting with her students. She's keeping them engaged. She's really helping them to determine, which route they're going to choose with their messages and how they're conveying them. This kind of goes back to a particular teaching method, which is student-teacher take-up, where the teacher really assists in building a discussion and the students can build on what the students say to relay the overall lesson learning. So I thought this was really neat. Here's another example.
Well, something actually from the book. Okay.
May the odds be ever in your favor. Can you put that because it's from the reaping?
Why would you?
They asked a question. She
How
asked a
does it
question.
so fair?
Because they know that the odds might not be in their favor.
There you go. I think you have your own answer.
So here it's really showing how she's helping the students discuss as a group, and they're allowed to build on what is said. It's not so much, IRE, the initiative that the teacher takes to ask a question and then she or he will then evaluate their response. And it's not necessarily, that's just kind of a question answer basis. Here they're really able to dig deeper and kind of get into the bottom line of these concepts and really relate them to experience or personal things that they can relate to. Another cool idea she mentioned is that hopefully when doing lesson plans of this nature, you will be able to keep your students engaged and excited and teach them as authors or readers how to analyze the text and dig deeper into the themes and the concepts and what they mean. And so that when she does assign harder text, maybe like To Kill a Mockingbird, that then the students she won't have to connect with them on the level of teaching them how to do this. They will already be doing it because they know what the author's purpose is in writing a text. And so I really feel like the key to this lesson is encouraging students to think deeply about text and to communicate what they're learning and how they're learning it with other students, and really coming together to build knowledge on a subject. So I really think this lesson plan is good. I really like this teacher's enthusiasm or passion. She seems to really connect on several different levels with her students and see they're laughing, having a good time. That's really what you want with a good teacher and a good student involvement. So I will give her kudos.
The Julius part of it where he says he likes Katniss, but then goes back and wants to kill her.
That's self-monitoring. I didn't tell them that. I just said what happened to the concept, and they realized what they had done in their thinking and constructing process.
You can do where Peter confesses his feelings.
In today's lesson, they were building something, and in doing that, their takeaway was figuring out how to maneuver details of a text in a way that situates them as writing their own narrative about it. Give me a thumbs up if you know that you spent some time trying to think logically about something. Determining themes or concepts. Did you talk about words that you can't touch? Okay.
And this really kind of concludes the lesson and shows the students what they're learning and why they're learning it.